In this tutorial, we will make an introduction to the process of entering data in BMemo. The simplest is directly through an Excel spreadsheet. We can also directly enter delimited text files. There is the BMemo Batch Loader utility. It can be used to load data into BMemo databases automatically. It can be part of ETL processes or run independently. Besides these, BMemo provides cloud utilities for loading BMemo's databases directly from cloud sources through scheduled processes from Amazon S3, Dropbox and Google Drive. Here, we will focus on local data manually loaded. A portal or BMemo application may have one or more databases for use by its analysis. Each database must be created and then updated in time cycles. Along the time, the several updates will constitute an historical database where one can, for example, compare monthly or yearly results. Data for the BMemo databases can come from several sources. A simple spreadsheet, data files, extracts from transactional systems, or data warehouses. The input processes can be part of already implemented, or new, ETL flows. BMemo uses a multidimensional model for its databases. It contains dimensions and variables or measures. One of the dimensions must be a date field, given that the databases are historical and should be updated periodically. In summary, a BMemo database must have a date column when the event occurred, one or more dimension columns to qualify the data, one or more value or measure columns to quantify. This is an example of a spreadsheet to create a BMemo database. The first line contains the field titles, and the other lines the data fields. The first column is the date dimension. Region and product are dimensions that qualifies the data. Quantity and price are values that quantifies the data. There are also other rules you have to follow in order to create or update a BMemo's database. A value must be numerical or blank. If it's blank, it will be considered null. Be careful with nulls, they will not be considered in some operations like percentages and counts. Rule 2, dimensions must always have proper values. A blank dimension will cause the line to be rejected by BMemo. This way of organizing data is technically called denormalized tables. Each line has all dimensions, values and one time dimension. It is expected, and it is required, that dimensions should be repeated until the designed level. This data can also be loaded as a CSV or text file. Look how this format is. In this case, the field separator is comma. Please see examples of databases used in applications in BMemo's help on chapters, concepts and input data. Let's see this example. Quite simple. A user wanted to show the values of a product sold by category of establishment in the years 2014 and 2015. Then created the following worksheet that could not be loaded correctly by BMemo. Shown by the rules, we missed the date dimension. Although we had a dimension, the establishment's category and two variable fields, 2014 and 2015. The correct way to structure the BMemo database is in this case a date column containing the years 2014 and 2015. The dimension column with the categories of establishments. A column with sales figures by category, year. Note that the format of the spreadsheets for database loading is, for the most part, different than those for spreadsheets used by users on a daily basis. Once created the databases, it is much simpler to create analysis and panels in BMemo. Please also keep in mind that BMemo databases are intended to be historical and summarized. Also, notice that most of the time, is easy to load data from the files, from which, you generated your spreadsheets, if possible. If you are in doubt, please ask someone, from your IT support team. Now, that you know the basics, of BMemo's databases design and loading, please watch, the Creating and Updating Databases, tutorial.